Questions. 1. How do some children in Colombia relate to armed conflict? 2. What is the relationship between society, education, and violence? 3. What could be the description of some anti-violence initiatives in Colombia? 1. How do some children in Colombia relate armed conflict? I think that some very important context exists for knowing that the good to that the children of Colombia to relating to the armed conflict due to your aggressive conduct for cognitive process or socio-emotional, where it is important to know the environment in which the child lives as and as it is your behavior. The school located is in the most violent neighborhoods with more exhibitions to the violence in the neighborhood tend to have higher levels of the intimidation. This includes the armed conflicts. The school harassment associates with a major presence of the armed conflicts. The children who are present at the school can suffer from stress, the depression, and the lack of concentration as a result of the conflict. The level of aggressiveness and violence grew notably in the last years. I believe that this owes principally to the society since the problems of violence reflect the social environment. Also, it owes to the relation that exists between the teenager and your family. Now, there is great lack in dialogue, lack in advice between parents and the children. 2. What is the relationship between society, education, and violence? I will say that behind every discrimination, of every abuse, every unequal structure, there is an invisible or symbolic violence and aggression to the conscience and to the freedom, to the dignity, and to the happiness of the persons. The parting that the society itself inculcates elements of aggressiveness. We cannot elude the fact that also in the schools the violence is transmitted. It is important to analyze that in our society actual of violence are lived from the family environment being the most important factor on the formation in the education of the coming to the educational institutions. The education is the result of an incalculable numbers of small influences, of words, of gestures, of acceptances, and of rejections, of factors and of subjects. Therefore, it is essential that all the educational agents go in the same direction. To go in opposition to a culture of violence, we must educate to the whole society, but centering especially of the children towards a culture of the peace. It treats itself that the children shake in order that they react and modify your behaviors, your attitudes, your values, your conducts, thus they will be internalizing solutions. You do not force to confront the conflicts. 3. What could be the description of some anti-violence initiatives in Colombia? Some initiatives of the citizenship and against the violence is the Classroom in Peace initiative. Evaluated as broadly successful, this program is a multi-component program for the promotion of peaceful relationships and the prevention of aggression by developing citizenship competencies. The initiatives against the violence in Colombia is a dynamic and important concept to the truth that it leads us to facing and solving the conflicts and constructive form in different areas politically, socially, economically, and culturally in order to obtain the harmony of the person, grow with it itself and with the nature. Therefore, the construction of the peace refers to the creation of a set of attitudes, measures, approaches, processes, and stages directed to transforming the violent conflicts into relations and more inclusive and sustainable structures. Thank you for your attention.